right, what is up, everybody? Divine Hood here, coming at you with another daily update on Bitcoin and the crypto markets. Welcome in, everybody. Happy Friday to you all. Lil Rich 69, what's up, man? Welcome in. R Pink, much love as always. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for the great job you do modding. Appreciate you so much. Chad P, Falcons Forge, Lost X, Sudeep, welcome all in. And Sudeep, thank you so much for modding. Thank you for being here. Chichon, Nightwalker, Dad87, Full Port, Michael Mitzal, Ben, and Darksby19. Thank you guys all for being here. Guys, we are seeing some local bullish absorption on Bitcoin right now, and I expect us to take out the local highs that we made earlier today. We're pretty much at them right now. Expect us to take out those local highs, but we are seeing a breakout of the value area high of our 2-month range. If we go back to the daily time frame, and let me go ahead and I am watching real quick while we're here. I am watching towards the top of this channel, so right at that 786, maybe just a little bit higher. We do know we have that naked weekly point of control at 74.2. That is definitely an area I'm going to be watching for at least a bit of a pullback and a scalp short. But let me go ahead and hide the channel, and we'll go out onto the daily time frame. And on the daily time frame, what we're looking for is this range to see a little bit of resolution here. It is starting to mature. Now, you guys, we were looking down here at these lows. We had major confluence of a golden pocket. We had a daily level. We had the value area low. We had a lot of support down here. So we were looking for a possible bounce from this area. Now, once again, in the range, this range has been really quite an aggressive range, making unlikely new highs sometimes, because we started this dump from the anchor VWAP with an impulse to the downside. So I was looking for a lower high for it to dump down. That's when we were looking at that 5-wave impulse in the extended fit to play out. Now it's more probable, as I explained in yesterday's video, that we're looking at a WXY and we're in the Y wave. We're in the uptrend within the Y wave before taking 60K. And then this dump here was an impulse as well. So I mean, we just keep holding support. And remember the last week when I said we are down here and we are holding the value area low of the range. And until we lose the value area low, we have to expect that we could see a local push to the upside, even if it was just to a golden pocket to make a lower high before dumping. But we were able to break above the POC. We were able to break above the anchored VWAP. And on Tuesday was important. We broke above with a volume imbalance candle, broke above the value area high of the range, and you can see the last 2 days we've pretty much back tested that value area high, and it is holding as support. So on these high time frames, when the value area high holds its support, you expect to continue the local uptrend, and that's what we're doing. We've made new highs today. We're about to make more new highs right now, and because we're breaking out of the value area high, closing daily candles above the value area high, we have to expect that this uptrend could continue a bit more and possibly even take out our range highs here. And if we're looking at that bigger A, B, C, we could come all the way up to $82,000. Of course, we do have significant, so we have some internal resistances, you know, that 74.2 naked weekly point of control, obviously our 786. Those are levels of internal resistances where we could continue to dump back down. But if we're looking at that larger now zigzag correction, the two main targets I'm watching, of course, is like that $78,000 area and then the $82,000 area. And we'll just have to, as traders, we don't know what it's going to do. We just react once we get to those levels. And right now, because we are seeing some local bullish signs on the charts, this bullish absorption that we're seeing on the chart right now, we have to expect that the uptrend is going to continue locally. We also know that we did pass our bullish backtest of the value area high. And because we did pass on this bullish backtest of the value area high, we're expecting now new highs. And remember a couple days ago when we looked at this 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're in that fifth and final wave. Now, it does not have to take out the range highs. And this is one thing that I am concerned about, is not taking out the range highs, seeing another lower high. Kind of, you know, you could, like, I think Lost X mentioned it. We could be in a redistribution pattern, right? Because oftentimes when we form these ranges, you will get those fake breakouts of the range. Like we had our range highs in here, and you get these fake breakouts just to hit into a resistance above, and then you dump. Or if we're looking at a model 2 redistribution here, you have your tap 1 here, tap 2, tap 3, and then you could dump as well. So we have to be aware of that. But I do think what we're seeing locally from a couple Sundays ago, this move to the upside on the daily time frame, it is looking impulsive. And so if we zoom in to the 2-hour time frame, there's a couple ways you could count this, but like, let's suffice to say, because there's overlap between these highs here and this low here. So we would be looking at this. You could say it's 1 2 1 2 1 2 3, and that's where your gap is. You have gap between these highs, or those highs and these lows. It's not much of a gap, but there is a gap there. And then we would be looking for some 4 5s, 4 5s, 4 5s to be coming in, or you could count this as a double 1 2, just looking 1 2 1 2. You get your big third wave, and then now we're looking for the 4 5s, 4 5s. But we're looking at an incomplete impulsive structure to the upside. So until we start to see that buying exhaustion in this area, and as we're forming this buying exhaustion, we want to see bear divs coming in on the chart, on our oscillators here. We want to see those bear divs, and even we definitely don't want to see local bullish absorption here. Because if we're seeing local bullish absorption, that means the trend, like we're seeing bullish absorption from this low here. I do think, the target is to take out the high that we made earlier today. I do think we will do that, even if we kind of see a little bit of where's my brush? Even if we see a little bit of a pullback, I still think we are going to continue up. We are going into the weekend. Now, we have to be careful, because what happens on the weekends, when you see breakouts near the weekends, like this breakout here happened on the weekend, right? You get the breakout, you range for the weekend, and then the next week you dump back into the range. So we have to watch for this. If Bitcoin kind of continues to range in this area over the weekend, and we start to see that kind of buying exhaustion come in over the weekend, then we could end up breaking and dumping back down into the range come next week. And then if we do dump back into the range, I would be expecting a move at least to the POC, but we might get that big dump to the downside. For me, locally, I still remain bullish locally to come a little bit higher here. And in an ABC correction, ABC, it's very common, very, very common, happens most of the time, to take out your A wave highs with your C wave. And if we're looking at the overall trend-based Fibonacci extinction targets, between the 1-to-1 and the 1.236 are your main targets for C wave to end. But the minimum target for the C wave is actually the 0.618. So if we throw on that 0.618, it is going to be below the range highs just barely. And then I believe our 886 is very close to that. So this could be another zone where if we are going to have that ABC correction and make a minimum, hit the minimum target, hit that 886, you would at least expect some sort of a pullback, and the pullback will tell us everything. If the pullback is impulsive, then we know that the C wave is probably done, and that we're probably going to make a lower high before making a lower low. But if we finish this impulse and then we start to kind of just pull back in a 3-wave move, maybe to back test the value area high again, then we might see that thing continue to the upside. As we'll get more information as we start getting into these highs, as we start grinding down within these highs. We are not really seeing much bearish CVD divergences anymore. We did invalidate some of the bearish CVD divergences. So first off, the 8-hour time frame is really good to look at Market Cypher B's money flow. And you can see here, Market Cypher B's money flow is looking really strong on the 8-hour. We just printed a green dot on the 8-hour. The stochastic RSI and RSI are not together, topping out like they normally do at highs. And if we go on, NAMI's not really showing, I guess you could see some possible bear divs, but not confirmed yet. And if we go to our 4-hour chart here, 4-hour chart, yes, we are seeing potentially 4 hours. This hasn't rolled over yet. So it's not confirmed. And we did have a couple drives confirmed, but now we're breaking this momentum wave above. Money flow looks strong though. And remember, bullish money flow will always overpower a single drive or a couple drives of bear div. You want to see that money flow starting to top out with the confirmed bear divs. And then on NAMI, we did see a bear div on the 4 hour yesterday. It gave us a bit of a small pullback. And now we are seeing the local potential bear divs being invalidated here on NAMI on the 4 hour. So a little bit of some bullish signals here, at least locally, to continue higher. And then if we go to our 1 hour time frame, you can see that our spikes in volume are all these green big spikes in volume. And so we are seeing some nice still buying pressure come in here, or buying volume come in here. And locally, 1 hour bear divs have been invalidated. Now NAMI is showing some local bear divs very, very locally, and we still are seeing the money flow, bear divs developing here. And then we could see more regional bear divs on NAMI on the 1 hour. As well as with Market Cipher B, you can see the more regional bear divs are developing. So we are starting to see signs that the next few highs, we could get that ending of the impulse, but we're probably going to see that grindy structure to the upside, and probably throughout the weekend, or at least ranging, and maybe one more grind to the upside early next week before a dump. I am going to be watching, and right now we are, so I'm long locally. You know, you guys know that I'm playing the scalp trends, scalping long, but I am still looking for the big shorts, the big short opportunities. And so, of course, we know that the 786 and the 886 in sideways ranges, and this is a pretty clear sideways range here for the past couple months. So with that 886 being so close to the 618 C wave target, the minimum C wave target, I am going to be paying attention to that. But I think the big levels that we have to watch, obviously, are range highs, right? Remember, within sideways ranges, the most important things to look at are liquidity grabs and volume levels. Now, we are holding an important volume level as support the last 2 days, being the value area high of our 2-month-long range. But where is probably the most important liquidity within the range? It's at the absolute range highs and the absolute range lows, right? So that $76,000 range high, if we do come up there, grind up there, and we continue to get this kind of corrective grindy structure until we get up there, and we see the bear divs forming on the chart as we're making these higher highs, then that for me would absolutely, I would attempt it. Even if we come up here, we get a wick, a small pullback, and then we continue, I would still be looking to short that SFP and probably TP1 on the first local support, and then let the rest ride, either get stopped out on the rest or be in a super nice short trade, right? Yeah, this is kind of what I'm looking for here. And with this impulse, wave 1, 2, 1, 2, we have our 3, we have a 4. We're in our first 5 wave to the upside right now. So even after this 5th wave ends, we could be looking for another 4 pullback and then another 5. And you generally want your 4 5s to match at least your 4th wave corrective moves to match around the same time or longer than your wave 2 corrections. So this one was very similar, a little bit shorter in time, but very similar. So that is acceptable. And then our second wave 2 here, it was about, let's see here, let me grab this. Yeah, about 1 day, about 1 day. So we could see that might take, we might get a pullback. Maybe if we're coming up here, kind of ranging Saturday, maybe a pullback on Sunday or Monday. And then we get a couple more highs early in the week before ultimately seeing this structure break down. And then the big bear scenario, guys, is that the big bullish scenario is that we are going to see a move up into the 80s, right? 1, 2, 1, 2. This, even though there's no overlap, you could still count this as a 1, 2, and then you would see this 3rd wave come in, and then you'd want to see some 4 5s, 4 5s, 4 5s coming in up to that $82,000 area. We don't have enough data yet, and because the only part of this structure that has a gap is within this pump on Tuesday. Oop, I kind of missed that circle there. But with that pump on Tuesday, right now, we got to say that this is likely to be our 3rd wave here. All right, let me check the chat. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Much love to you all. Golden Liquidations, welcome in. Tarasun, Taransin3, welcome in. Steely Clutch, Josh Bryan, thank you guys. Ryan Henson, Otter Anderrum, thank you guys all for being here. We are breaking the trend line from the top. Okay, are you talking about from the all-time highs? A trend line from the all-time highs? I know we did have a sort of very, very steep trend line coming in from those all-time highs. Let's see. You're not talking about that one, obviously, but let's, maybe, are you looking at from 98K? Yeah, that trend line maybe, is that what you're talking about? Golden Liquidations, good to see you in here as well. Thank you so much for being here. Reminder for the stellium of the 6 planets. Oh yes, okay, the 6 planets in Aries forcing the biggest impulse of the whole year. Perhaps with new moon on the 15th of April, we might have the expected impulse down. Be cautious. Yes, and we do know that full moons generally for Bitcoin do cause pumps, bullish pumps on Bitcoin, and those new moons can cause the dumps. So thank you for reminding us of that Golden Liquidations. Appreciate that, and we'll keep an eye out for that. You know, I am a technical trader first and foremost, but you know, when something works 60, 70, 80% of the time with Bitcoin, which the full moon cycles relatively do, you should just pay attention to it a little bit. I mean, it's not base your whole TA off of it, but, you know, just put it in the back of your mind. Celinita Anderson, welcome in. No head and shoulders, please. Yeah, well, the one big thing, when we zoom out here on the daily time frame, guys, this entire move upwards so far, there is a lot of choppy overlap in here. And even if we get a move up to continue to take out your range highs, you can see that volume is decreasing as we're making this move up. So it's less likely to be a giant breakup, right? Back up into like the hundreds and stuff like that. And it's more likely to be a corrective move. Now, that corrective move could bring you up into the 80s. Like that, that would still be a bigger acceptable correction, an ABC correction, bringing you up into the 80s, and then you could still drop back down. And I do still think we do get another new low. I do not think 60K is the low of the bear market. I do think we will get another new low on Bitcoin, but locally, I'm expecting this uptrend to continue a little bit more. All right, let me go in on the 12-minute. What's happening here? Yeah, nothing too much. We're just seeing a little bit of grindiness. Earlier today, by the way, guys, earlier today, we broke above the VWAP, back tested the VWAP. Once you held it, that's when you got your new high, right? It's your kind of intraday trend support, volume support trend for the day. So if you back test it, you hold it, you expect to take out the high. We did. What did we just do now? Again, we dropped after that SFP. We dropped to the VWAP. We back tested it. We're holding it again. So you can expect probably a grind up to take out this high. And it's just trend trading, right? Trend is your friend until the end. Decrypto, welcome in. Wander5813, good afternoon to you as well. We have clear 4-hour and 2-hour bear divs. Well, on Market Cipher, we don't. Well, we do on, yes, not confirmed though. I guess you do have a couple confirmed drives, but money flow, once again, money flow will always overpower. And then, like I said, on NAMI, your local 4-hour has been invalidated. Now, you do have the more regional 4-hour bear divs still, and the money flow bear divs, which is pretty big. Like, this is pretty big. That's why I'm not expecting a huge breakout over the week. I'm not expecting this thing to shoot up to, you know, 78K or even 82K over the weekend. We would want to see a cool off first, a bit of a pullback, you know, something kind of like this before we could see that continuation, if we're going to see it. All right, where was I? Jojo, welcome in. Much love to you. Those big wicks in volume are very common, but when those big wicks in volume only result in slightly higher highs on price. Yes, I agree. This is a warning sign. Like, well, and I was looking at Bybit too. So Bybit's exchange, the volume, or where was it? I think it was Binance. Yeah, on Binance, you are seeing, if you go on to the 1 hour, I mean, volume is getting overall lower and lower and lower as we're kind of grinding up in these highs. So that is starting to get, that's that buying exhaustion that we're starting to see. So we're starting to see the warning signs of a pullback coming. But when you see that buying exhaustion, and at the same time you go onto your chart, your order flow chart, and you're seeing bullish absorption, bullish absorption plays out, 70 to 80% of the time. So locally, even if we get small pullbacks, I would expect this uptrend to continue, at least to make new highs above today's highs. The one thing that can invalidate that, guys, and this is a little bit of a warning sign right here even, when you're seeing bullish absorption on the charts, you generally want to see a steady rise in order flow. And if you do get these prolonged drops in open interest, you want to see a steady rise in open interest. And if you do get prolonged drops in open interest during that steady rise, it does make it less likely to play out. Now, this is a bit of a drop. I wouldn't say it's a prolonged big drop, but if we start to, over the weekend, see this happen over the weekend, while we're still kind of grinding upwards, I would say it's more likely that that bullish absorption is not going to play out like we want it to. And we just have to have the mindset we are going into the weekend. And of course, we also have to think real world geopolitically, the weekends have been pretty disruptive. And if we do see something very disruptive, we could see something very disruptive happen over the weekend geopolitically. And if, that could cause major dumpage or even major pumpage if something good happens over the weekend. Maybe they get some sort of deal worked out. Who knows? Crypto Clan World, much love to you, man. What is up? And Chino Croatia, welcome in as well. Thanks for the lives, brother. Short ETH at the naked daily point of control. Okay, guys, on Ethereum, yesterday I was talking about that 2290 as my next take profit level. So I did hit a take profit on my ETH long on that. And remember, yesterday, also this low was a low we were looking for a bounce. Now on Ethereum, I was going to take a new long here yesterday. I didn't take that long, but I was long on a different exchange from down back testing this pitchfork pitchfork lower band here. But I still think that naked weekly point of control, we have a naked weekly point of control at 23.29. I still think that looks pretty good. And what I would want to see, like I said this in yesterday's live stream, maybe some chop if we can kind of, we saw our first rejection from the top of the pitchfork band. We're getting a pullback here. And if we can kind of chop within this pitchfork band for a bit, and then we get a move up there and then lose the pitchfork band, that's where I'd really be looking for my short position on Ethereum. And then you said short at the naked daily. So is that a naked daily as well? Let me just check that. Naked daily. Not a naked daily up there, but maybe it is on a different exchange. Or if, let's see, did the other exchanges? Okay, the other exchanges didn't get that pump to 2290 yet. So I guess Bybit did not get the pump that Coinbase did. That's actually very interesting. We're seeing some big buys coming on the Coinbase exchange. Look at this. Look at these wicks up to 2290 on Coinbase. They are not on Bybit. Very interesting, actually. Generally, when one exchange wicks up like that, the other exchanges will come up there eventually. And then also yesterday on Solana, we were talking on Solana about getting the short from 85 because the short from 85, it was the larger 2-month range POC. It was your anchored VWAP, and it was the small 15-minute range value area high. Now, after we ended the stream yesterday, we wicked up past it pretty aggressively, but as soon as we started to lose it, I shorted with my stop above the highs. And then when we started to bounce from the POC, I let you guys know in the Telegram, guys, I'm taking out some of the trade just to cover myself. And then if I get stopped out, I get stopped out. I still haven't quite been stopped out on that, but it's going to be a break-even trade. And we unfortunately didn't make it down to $80, where I was really looking to add to the long position if we did come down there. Just kind of scalping the range, scalping the small range. Now, if we can break out of this on Solana, if we can break out of the POC of our 2-month long range here, break out of this POC and break out of this smaller range between the POC and the value area low, then I would expect to move up to the value area high of our 2-month long range, which you can see we have a golden pocket resting up there as well. So that kind of $89 to $91 area, you know, 89.4 to 90.4, let's say. Chi-chan, much love to you. What's your take on what happened to Tau last night? Oh, you know what? I did get an alert on Tau last night. I have no idea if it was like some sort of rug pull or something like that. But man, this thing dumped. And look at that was the alert that I got last night on Tau, taking out those lows and coming into our larger. Because remember on Tau, we were looking to pull back between the 0.382 and the 0.5 Fibonacci. So looking at the 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then looking for potentially one more 5 here. But I have to say the dump that we saw yesterday was pretty aggressive. We hit past the 1.618. That's why we know it's most likely to be impulsive. And we did eventually come and back test that golden pocket there. Actually, you front run it just barely. No. Sorry, wrong golden pocket. You did hit the golden pocket on the lower high, and that's a common B wave corrective target, right? Let me just get rid of that. We'll do this. Common B wave corrective target for the lower high is the golden pocket. Guess where you rejected? At your lower high golden pocket. So we could be looking at A, B, C, and here. And if we look at our trend-based Fibonacci extinction for this, between the 1-to-1 and the 1.236, well, you just really, that's where you're kind of finding this range right now after the dump is between those levels. And you dumped pretty much down to the 0.5 Fibonacci. Now, if you make another new low on this, like if we do see, okay, let me get rid of this stuff locally. If we do see that chop continue here and maybe a slow rise, because we have to be aware 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because if you're in an ABC, you're looking for a 5, 3, 5, right? And so we could be looking for one more low on Tau, and that 0.5 Fibonacci at 248 was just barely front ran. So if we get a small grind up like this, maybe up to the anchored VWAP area, and then a move down, SFPing that low into your 0.5, that could be a decent long opportunity. And if it doesn't SFP and we get this dump to continue, then we might have to say, guys, that this was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's over with. And then this is a 1, 2, 3, 4. And you're seeing it now, a bigger bearish dump to the downside. For the daily time frame, yeah, you are seeing some pretty aggressive bear divs on the daily as well. These higher highs here, lower highs here. You can see the bear divs confirmed, followed by a hidden bear div on the rejection of the golden pocket. So I would be cautious. And then also your money flow crossing into the red on NAMI. If this is a 1, 2, 3, and we're in the 4 now, what I would be waiting for, because in your 5th wave, you expect to take out your 3rd wave highs. So what, and within this 5th wave, you're going to be looking for something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or it's going to be a double 1, 2 or a multiple 1, 2 impulse. But so I personally wouldn't be longing this because there is a potential that this is the end, you know, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you're going to dump hard. So because we don't have clear knowing, and also look at the increase in volume on the dump, because we don't have clear knowing whether this is the 4th wave or if the 5th wave ended here and we're about to impulse down, I would wait for support to come in here. I would miss this entire move up, and you would want to see a little mini impulse in that, right? Within your first wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So after you see a 5 wave move up on like the 1 hour time frame, wait for the pullback to the golden pocket. And when you get that pullback to the golden pocket, this would be the area where I would be comfortable longing, not in I would want to see some consolidation, that impulse up, and then I would try to long the pullback. But you would want this to be a 5-wave move. Okay. I just closed a ton of Hedge short positions from the 78K. Wow, Bansbell, you closed your shorts from 78? Man, I'm waiting to reopen short once we confirm this impulse ends. Okay, so I probably personally wouldn't have done that. If I was short from 78K, I might have taken a little bit more profit, but there's a chance that we don't get back up to 78K, right? There's a chance that we could reject from 76. There's a chance we could reject from 74.2. So I would have probably left that open, maybe taken a little bit more profit, and then added if you reject, like if you SFP 76 and then you see a big move down, now I guess it depends on your risk management, right? So it doesn't matter if you were short from here and your stop was way up here, or if you short the SFP and you have a super tight stop, you'll actually make more money even though you shorted from a lower actual number, price. So, I mean, good for you, man. It looks like it was a win for you, right? So a win's a win, and you got to pat yourself on the back and say you did something good there. Taking profit is always good. Naked Daily POC on Bybit ETH is in confluence with the 0.8 Fibonacci. Okay. Let me go to the 1 hour here. And I got to turn off all these levels. Turn off our dailies, turn off our naked weeklies. Yeah, it's really interesting that Bitcoin did not hit, or excuse me, Bybit did not hit that 786 and Coinbase did. But you're talking about the 0.8. Now, I usually keep the 0.886 on my chart, but let's just put on that 0.8. Oh, I guess we hit the 0.8. Yeah, that's the top of the trend. That's the top of the pitchfork band there. So, Coinbase hit it. Let's just say that. Coinbase hit it. Tau will be a cascading continuing dump because of their insider trading. Oh, is that what's going on there? See, I have no idea what's actually happening, like fundamentally or news-wise with the coin. But yeah, if the market becomes bearish on it because of some hanky-panky going on, then yeah, it's probably going to continue dumping. People, investors will start offloading. All right. Remember, anytime after market close Fridays, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Trump's crazy. Yes. Yeah, Andrew, that's what I was talking about with these weekends. These weekends have been very hectic over the past few weekends because of what's happening geopolitically. So I really, yeah, I mean, we have to be more aware of that. Okay, let me go to Bitcoin real quick. Let's see what's happening very locally here on Bitcoin. Yeah, I mean, we're grinding here. I mean, the bounce from the VWAP here two times today really tells me that we're going to continue this local uptrend. We are seeing some bearish divergences here come in on the 5-minute. You can see local bear divs coming in on the 5-minute on NAMI as well. But let's see if we get a small pullback. I think that this is probably going to continue until we hit that 786 Fibonacci. And then we could get a small pullback from the 786 Fibonacci. So maybe it's a scalp short that we can look for during the stream. And if we look at that channel that I threw on the chart, you can see that channel is going to be pretty much in alignment with that 786. And so there's a couple things that we can look at with channels. When you're looking at Elliott waves, you take your what's called a base channel, right? Let me hide this one. So if this is our first 1, 2, you can take a base channel from the low of 1 to the low of 2, and then you put it up to that first high of 1, right? And in a wave 3, so you have your 1, 2s, 1, 2s, 1, 2s. In your wave 3, you often break out of that channel. And then your wave 4 generally will come back and back test that channel, and it holds. Sometimes you get some wickage inside of it. As long as you don't hit the midline of it, you're pretty good there. But you'll back test that channel, it holds, and then you continue your 4 or 5s, right? And so we do see with that base channel here that this is the only spot where you see the breakout of the channel, and then we kind of get that back test as well. So base channel looking pretty good. We're holding above support of the base channel. And we're probably just going to continue to grind up in what we see as buying exhaustion. And as we develop more bear divs with that buying exhaustion, that's when we could see the actual big reversal crash. Now, until we see that locally, guys, we have to give priority to the bulls. I'm not saying we're going to break out to 80K right now, or I'm not, maybe not even make new highs in the range. There is still a possibility we could make a lower high and dump. And remember, those 886s, a lot of people do not pay attention to the 886 Fibonacci, but in sideways ranges, the 886 will often give you a rejection. Okay, where was I? BTC has been rejected from 72, 73K levels many times. Now I think it's showing bearish signs. Right now, let's check our CVD. We're still seeing bullish CVD absorption. And guys, this is absorption here, not CVD divergences. CVD divergences are good to look at, but they don't play out. They're not as tradable as bullish CVD absorption. Right now, we're seeing bullish CVD absorption here. So I expect this local uptrend to continue until we take out today's high at 73, let's just say 73.3-ish. And we might start even to see a squeeze. Where is our liquidation? Yeah, and you can see we also have that liquidity resting right above those highs, actually coming up to about that 786 Fibonacci, right around 73.6, right? And the 73.650 is the 786 on Coinbase. So let's see if we can't get a small pullback from there. Guys, if we do something like this, if we wick above it and then start to close below it, I would kind of play it as an SFP short. And because our channel is just above that, that could be a wick above it to hit the top of the channel. And then if we lose it, I would look for the short here. Stop would go above that local high. And honestly, my first TP would probably be targeting the golden pocket from this range low to wherever that high is going to be. I would just be looking at the first TP at that golden pocket. And then let some ride, right? You can let it ride. You can let it ride because maybe it's going to come down and take out this range low. Or you could even backtest the value area high again. Now, right now, this is a theoretical fib because we haven't come up there yet. So that's completely theoretical. This short is a plan that I have, but I will not execute it unless I have proper confirmations. And then, like, I am looking at Solana at $89 to $91 is a really nice potential short. And one of the reasons I'm looking at Solana as a super nice short possibility is because, let me just get rid of some of this. We didn't even get that trade yet. Let's get rid of this. And I'm going to hide this range real quick. So if we break out of the POC, you can see for weeks now, or, for a couple weeks, rejection at POC, rejection at POC, rejection at POC, rejection at POC. And yesterday we saw a small scalp rejection at the POC. But if we start to break above this POC, we pretty much have clear skies in here until we get to, except for liquidity, right? This liquidity grab. But we pretty much have clear skies up until we get to the golden pocket. But the golden pocket is also a bearish back test of the pitchfork. And if we do get that bearish backtest around the value area high, around the golden pocket, then I would look for bear divs as we're coming up there. And that could be a very nice short to at least come down and take out your $75 lows. Okay. Yeah, check 1 hour, 4 hour. Yeah, CJ, I know that 73K level, we've been kind of chopping around 73K for the last couple of days. I still have massive hedge short positions open, Divine, but they are on Ethereum and they are about to be stopped out. Okay, well, that's good, Bansbell, that you have some shorts. And if they get stopped out, like you said, let them get, if it gets stopped out, that's great. As long as it was a win, it was a win. So be happy with that. And then just look for, opening new shorts at resistance though. You're not going to open new shorts in the middle of nowhere, or you're not going to open new shorts if you're obviously seeing the bullish momentum continue. You want to wait for bearish confirmation as well. So that's what I would personally be doing myself if I was there in that position. So from 3,500 and 3,200. Whoa, okay, so I don't know if you're about to get stopped out, like unless you mean 2,500. Even 2,500 is good. But 3,500, I don't know if you're going to get stopped out, man. That's quite a ways up there. I mean, I think that you could get a major rejection around $3,000, 2,900, let's say 2,900. Because look at this pitchfork midline was holding in the last range we had for 2 months. It was holding. You break down aggressively below it. You're chopping within the lower band. Well, if you start to break above the lower band, and let me clean up this chart real quick. I want to hide our smaller pitchfork, and let me so you can see we're chopping in and around this lower band of the pitchfork, but the midline that was holding so nicely broke down. So anytime you see chop like this, and if you do get a rise up and break up, like see a clean break above this lower band, then this would have to be a pretty bullish scenario. But you generally you would see a major rejection. What was acting as support is now going to be acting as major resistance, and by then you might have these two anchored VWAPs coming right into that area as well, and that that $2,900 area could be a massive short. If we even get up there, I'm not so sure Ethereum's going to get that high, to be honest with you. I will say this, there's nothing really in here that is keeping us from pumping. So if we start to aggressively break out of these range highs, there is a probability we could come up there, because there's not much within this structure that could keep us. Remember, quick move down could mean a quick move back up through it. But I would also say this here looks corrective to me. Like this looks corrective. The bullish scenario here for ETH is that this is like 1-2s, 1-2s, and then you're going to get your big third wave, and then you're going to see some 4-5s. There's a problem with that though. Look at your primary one is only that high, and unless you're saying 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. This is another one, another two. But whatever this one is here is longer than all your other ones, so it kind of lessens the probabilities that it's an impulse. When you're seeing a double 1-2 or a multiple 1-2 impulse, generally your primary 1 and 2 are bigger than your secondary ones, right? Your secondary ones are smaller, and then you get that big 3, and then you start to get those sideways and up choppy 4-5s that come in. That buying exhaustion that comes in. Okay, but 3,500, man, that's awesome. And 3,200, like if you're short from these range highs in here, that's great, dude. Good short there. And like I said, to me, the place where I plan to spot buy Ethereum is going to be coming in at your 4-year long range point of control, right? At least on Coinbase. So let me zoom out to like the 3-day time frame, and we will extend this over. So you can see on your 4-year long range coming back to May of 2021. So actually almost 5-year long range. The bottom of the pitchfork and that POC on Coinbase is right around that 1580, 1570, around 1600 to 1560. That is where I plan to buy a lot. And then you could, because the value area low is so close to it, you could come down to the value area low as well, around 1450-ish. Yeah, and we couldn't, man. So you did see a lot of overlap in here, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. This would all have to be a 4 because you didn't take out the high. So that was a running flat in there. There's a 5. Here's another 4. You'd have to see 5, 4, 5, something like that, right? Oh, are we pumping? Okay, let me get back to Bitcoin. Let's go to the lower time frames. 12-minute chart. Yeah, guys. Like I said, I was expecting this to take out the highs. So let's watch for that 786 Fibonacci hit at 73,650. It's pretty much exactly 73,650 on Coinbase. Not exactly, but you know what I mean. Right there, 73,650, and then the top of the channel is like 73.8-ish. Naked weekly point of control, 74,218. At least on Coinbase, 74,218. Money flow looks pretty good on the 12-minute right now. You are developing bear divs on the 12-minute. So actually, this is setting up really nicely for a scalp short from the 786. Because if we continue to kind of hit up there and we continue to see bear divs and maybe our money flow's topping out by then, we could take a scalp short from the 786. Now, this weekly level, I'm going to delete this now. It was acting as resistance here on Wednesday. We kind of rejected from it again yesterday, even though we took liquidity above it. And now, you know, like earlier today, we were trying to flip it to support locally, but it's been ran through a couple times now, so we'll get rid of that weekly. And then let's go to the 2-hour. Yeah, but what is very interesting, so you can see we have our 98K anchored VWAP. That's this blue line in here. I'm going to actually hide this one for now. This is our anchored VWAP from 98K for Coinbase. And look at resistance, resistance, resistance. We're finally breaking above it. If we can close the daily candle above it, it would be our first, well, actually, I don't think it's our first daily candle close. We had a daily candle close above it here, but within this last few days, we've had three daily candles hitting from it, but rejecting it, right? In the last few days. So now, if we close the daily above it, that's going to be a sign of strength even on, for the local uptrend to continue here. And I mean this local uptrend here to continue a little bit longer. Come on, Bitcoin, just come up a little bit higher. Let's take out that high. I also want to throw on this guy. We're so close to this SFP and we're not really rejecting and we're not really seeing a clean SFP that I think that we might bust straight through it, guys. Let's see if we can bust straight through this thing. And honestly, because the other exchanges on Ethereum didn't get up to 2290, about 2300, I would like to see it come up there with all of them. Let's do this. Did Binance go up there? Nope, Binance didn't either. Okay, so it looks like Coinbase is the only exchange where these big, you know, wicks are on. Very interesting. And I did have a TP set at 2290. I don't know if BYDFI went up there. But look at how nice this was, guys. This is our bigger pitchfork band, the top of our bigger pitchfork band. Break above it with volume. Slow, grindy move to back test it. Continuation, right? As soon as you back tested and held, this was also your pitchfork midline of your smaller pitchfork. You expect to take out these highs. Now, Bybit has not yet. I'm just going to double check something here. Okay, ETH. Yeah, I've already, okay. Already got limit TP set. And I like what we're seeing on Solana. The one thing I am concerned about is this guy right here from yesterday. Not yesterday, Tuesday. I remember you suggested BTC will go back to 60K levels once again. Yes, I do believe, and I explained this yesterday, CJ, remember, because at 60K, we don't have any major bullish divergences down there on daily or weekly timeframes. Now, if this was going to be the bear market low, if this was actually going to be a bear market low, we would expect to see every single bear market low has corresponded with weekly bullish divergences, right? And we don't see weekly bullish divergences. We didn't even really see daily bullish divergences on this as either. You can see no daily bull divs coming down. So I would expect that. And also, this is clearly not looking impulsive yet, right? There's two scenarios we could see here on the macro time frame. You have your contracting diagonal here, right? That is a motive wave. That's a low probability already to start. You did see a 3-wave corrective move down. So you could say this is a wave 1 or a wave A, right? In a contracting diagonal. Then you get your pullback in a wave 2. And if it's going to be a 3, then you want to see this thing explode up pretty much to the 1.618 Fibonacci extinction. And that is going to be at 95K, right? You're going to want to see an explosion to come up to 95K, pretty much your point of control of your range. And then you would expect a pullback for a bit and then one more high being made. If this on the daily time frame is impulsive, then the bear market's probably over. But what is more likely is that this is a corrective move, an A, B, even if it comes up to 82K, that's a C wave, right? And you're looking for impulse in A and an impulse in C. And then I would expect, once we come up to 82K, I would expect a big rollover. And you could come up a little bit higher because we do have our logarithmic golden pocket. So if we pull our golden pocket from the 98K highs down to the 60K lows, the golden pocket, now that's that's right on the edge there, but that is a 38% drop, right? So if your drop is more than 30%, you want to take that Fibonacci, and you're on the log scale, which I am on the log scale. You come in and you click fibs based off log scale. Remember, more than a 100% pump to the upside, more than a 30% pump to the downside. And you can see where is that nice confluence coming in, right at 82. So I would definitely be looking for a major potential rejection around 82 if we come up there. And it could come up a little bit higher to the value area low, which is going to be close to your 1.236. So your major rejection for that C wave target is going to be between the 1.236 and the 1-to-1 extinction. And with the bearish backtest of this range that is up here, I call this the all-time high range, right? So that was our range for all of 2025. That was our all-time high range. And you can see right at the end of January, we break that range to the downside. Now, once again, we held the value area low of this prior range, right? This was our 2024 range right here. And where did we come down to? We came down to our value area low, previous range value area low. We bounced absolutely from it. So if you look at that range, that was your value area low. We bounced from our previous range value area low, and we are breaking above your value area high of that range. So if we can start to really push up here, then you will oftentimes backtest that old range, the old fair value. So in 2025, the fair value for Bitcoin was considered to be undervalued around 86, overvalued around 110, and fair value around $96,000. Now, once this drop happened, we've been chopping back in 2024 fair value for Bitcoin. We've kind of repriced Bitcoin back to 2024 levels. Now, if we start to break out of this range, like actually break out of it, not just see a little bit of price action and fall back inside of it, but if we actually start to break out of this 2024 range, oftentimes you will get a move up to backtest what used to be considered undervalued for Bitcoin. And the market will either decide there, okay, it is, we do want to sell off at 2024 undervalued or 2025 undervalued range, and we are accepting the fair value for Bitcoin to be lower. Or if you break back inside of that range, then you're finding reacceptance. Now the market's saying, okay, we're no longer pricing it in at 2024 levels. We want to go back to 2025 pricing, fair value pricing for Bitcoin. So that's what we're looking for. We're waiting for a move up. And remember, guys, inside of this big move down here, there's not a lot holding us. It's a big volume gap there. If I pull that bigger volume profile, combining both of the ranges, not that one. Did I do? Yeah, this bigger volume profile, combining both of the ranges, and we look at the low volume gap. Look at this gap in volume in here. So you have huge spikes in nodes and volume up here, and obviously huge spikes down here. But there's not really a lot of volume coming in here. So it's a big volume gap, and that is in this area. That's why we saw a quick move down through it, by the way, because there wasn't a lot of volume support. So now if we start to actually pump up really aggressively, you are probably going to pump through that low volume gap and come right up to like the 80s, right? Low to mid 80s. Yeah, please guys, smash the like button if you did get any sort of insight into the market from this live stream. I do want to take just a second here to shout out the partners of the channel. Let's get back to the charts, and I will to the low time frame charts, and I will keep an eye here. So the main partner of the channel is BYDFI. They are a VPN and KYC free exchange. All you need to sign up is an email and a password, no VPN required. If you do sign up using my affiliate link in the description, you can get a minimum of 20% discounts on trading fees, and you can actually earn up to 40% discounts on trading fees if you do deposit some large amounts into the exchange. They're offering up to $8,100 in futures trading bonuses, depending on how much volume you trade in those futures markets. And guys, when we're trading these derivative USDT contracts, that's the futures market. So you're earning extra Bitcoin or USDT just by trading on the exchange. And depending on the volume, you can earn up to $8,100 extra. They're also offering some of the best initial deposit bonuses in the entire industry. So they're giving you a 50% deposit bonus. If you deposit $100, you can get 50% deposit bonus. They're giving you 20% deposit bonuses up to $1,000. And then they're giving you 10% deposit bonuses up to $20,000, which is double what most exchanges do. I've also partnered with BYDFI to create the Telegram community, where I do try to keep you guys updated on what I'm thinking on Bitcoin. I do try to let you guys know when I'm entering a short or a trade on Bitcoin or the altcoins. And there is a general chat in there where you can tag me and ask me questions. That private community, it is a private community, a Telegram community, but it is free. All you need to do to get into that community is join BYDFI using my affiliate link and deposit the minimum deposit of $100 or more. If you want to deposit more so you can get some of these better rewards, you can, but the minimum deposit is $100. That is your money. You're not paying it to me. You're not paying it to BYDFI. It's still your money to trade. We're just hoping that you deposit it in the exchange to try out the exchange, and you end up liking the exchange and using it as your primary exchange. So once you've signed up and deposited the minimum amount, you can click the Telegram link in the description of this video. And in that Telegram verified channel, you type in /verify and then your user ID, your BYDFI user ID. /verify user ID. It'll automatically put you into the main Telegram channel. And once you're in, guys. Second partner of the channel is Nami Trading, and Blowfin. Blowfin is a non-KYC exchange that I partnered with. They are offering some really cool bonuses as well. 20% deposit bonus on $100, 10% deposit bonus on $10,000. Also VIP 1 for 30 days. And if you deposit just $5 on the exchange, they'll give you a $10 voucher. That's for the first 300 users only. So if you like Blowfin and you want to sign up, that's a way to say thank you to the channel. I have two KYC exchanges. They are MEXC and Bybit. MEXC is offering 10% deposit bonuses up to $1,000, and Bybit's offering a $30,000 in futures trading bonuses, depending on how much volume you move in those markets. And then lastly, we have Nami. Nami is this momentum and money flow indicator at the bottom of your screen, and I use it for my confirmations for entering and exiting trades. So as we're coming up to a key level like this 786 right now, I want to see bear divs forming on the chart, because if we're coming up there and we don't see any confirmations to short, I want to see confirmations in order to make the trade more likely to play out, right? We never know if a trade's going to play out or not, but we can get better probabilities by having confirmations to enter a trade. So NAMI is what I use to get those confirmations. I'm looking for bear divs. I'm looking for money flow bear divs. And for me, since I've been using NAMI, my profit has been a lot better because it helps get me into the good trades that are more probable to play out and stay out of the bad trades that are less probable to play out. If you're interested in purchasing NAMI, I have partnered with them to get you guys 50% off. So if you click the affiliate link in the description below, and when you're checking out in the description, in the discount code box, type in Divine50 and you can get 50% off of the lifetime subscription to NAMI. All right, guys, that's it for the sponsors of the channel. Please hit the like button if you guys are getting any sort of insight into the market, or if you're just enjoying the live stream, enjoying the TA, please hit the like button. Please share and subscribe and all that good stuff. And let's watch this. Let's see if we can't get a live scalp short here at this 786 Fibonacci. The way that we are consolidating right before this high, man, I think we might bust straight through it. Let's see if we bust straight through it. Let's come up to this 786. And remember, we do have some local liquidity resting above those highs up into that 786. Yeah, I mean, some nice little liquidity really around 73.8, which is where that channel is at. Channel highs at 73.8-ish. Okay, yes, Time Attack, welcome in, my friend. Much love to you. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for modding for me. And R Pink, thank you so much, as always, for posting the links in the description or in the chat. Okay, let's see. Where would you short Bitcoin around 76K? Yes, Tiraspol Hostel, I would if we get the confirmed swing failure pattern, right? So 76K is a major range high. And remember, within sideways ranges, liquidity is the most important thing, right? So we have some very key liquidity resting up here. If we are going to, especially if we get this exhaustion that starts kicking in towards the end, like you keep getting this grindy higher highs and higher lows, but you're developing a bunch of bear divs as you're making those higher highs and higher lows, and you get the SFP. Now, the only way I'm going to short 76K is if we come up here, we pierce above it, wicking out all those shorts, and then you fall below it. You don't randomly short there because you might not SFP. It might not be a failed breakout. Remember, a swing failure pattern is when you're attempting to make a new swing high and you fail. And that's called a swing failure pattern. So, and that's what market makers will do to retail, because retail thinks it's going to keep pumping. You take out the swing high, you stop out all the short traders, resetting the market, and then you make it dump anyways. So in order to trade the swing failure pattern of 76K, I would want to see the wick above the level, then it dump below, and at probably like a 15-minute candle close, or at least a 5-minute candle close below that high at 76.022. Then I would enter the short, right? And your stop is going to go above wherever that wick high went. And honestly, at that point, my first TP would be probably the value area high of the range. Or actually, maybe even that anchored VWAP. And so, but this, if we do SFP here, there is the potential that that SFP could bring us all the way down to take out all of these lows in here. At least it could take us down to 65. And remember, we have a lot of liquidity resting at 70 or $65,000, $66,000. If we go back to the last month of price action, 2 weeks of price action. Let's go to the 2-week chart. Okay, well, yeah, there we go. So you can see here into that $66,000 and $65,000 region, we have a lot of liquidity that is resting down there. And that liquidity, I mean, there are times where you leave liquidity pools like this behind. But remember, earlier in the month, we had all that liquidity resting at 72. and it was a very significant amount of liquidity at 72. And we did have to keep in mind that that liquidity acts as a magnet. The market makers don't often leave huge liquidity pools like that in sideways ranges, especially if it's an internal high or an internal low, because you have your range high, 60K is your range low. This was an internal high with a crap load of liquidity sitting above it. So oftentimes market makers will at least stop out those trades that are there. Let's see what's happening here on the 5-minute chart. Yeah, you are starting to see multiple drives of bear div come in here. It is setting up kind of nicely for a small rejection from the 786. But yeah, I think we're about to take these highs out right now. Fresh longs coming in. That's not good, guys. In the last 20 minutes, right here in the last 20 minutes, we are seeing some fresh long positions step in. So that's another sign that we could get a scalp short. When you see longs coming in at major highs, that's a sign that you could get a scalp. Scalp in the other direction. Trap those shorts, use it as fuel for a long squeeze to the downside. Paras1, welcome in, man. It's good to see you in here again. Have you thought about a video about how to pull pitchforks or similar videos? Yes, I have, and I do plan to do one. I know I've been saying that for RPing's probably like, I heard that in Jason's Discord 2 years ago. I will. I promise I will. I want to make it a very nice video, and I just don't have the editing skills yet to make it a nice video. Yeah, the week did fly by, right? Time attack. Awesome, Crypto Clan World. Well, thank you so much for joining BYDFI. Guys, when you join BYDFI, it's a way to help out the channel. And honestly, I tried to make it as fair as possible for all of you guys. Like, I didn't want to charge for it at all, because all that I get from BYDFI for this is first of all, any exchange you trade on, you have to pay maker and taker fees when you enter a trade, right? So you're paying it to the exchange. Well, BYDFI said, hey, they reached out to me and said, hey, we are doing we want you to open a Telegram channel. We'll make it a private channel where if they join BYDFI, they can get into that channel. They also have a bot that they post in there that gives scalp trades and stuff like that and setups. They said, we'll make it free. We'll make a minimum deposit on it, but you're going to earn a certain percentage of the trading fees that they would already be paying us. So really, BYDFI's giving me just a percentage of the trading fees that no matter what exchange you're on, you're already paying those trading fees to that exchange. So it's a win for me because it helps me earn a little bit of extra income. It's a win for you guys because you guys get discounts on your trading fees. You can get deposit bonuses, and you can earn extra Bitcoin in those futures trading bonuses. And then you get access to the Telegram where you can kind of get with a like-minded community to, work on your trades, like ask questions, all that stuff. So I thought it was a good idea, and I thought it was fair for everyone. I thought it was a win-win for everyone. So that's why I opened the Telegram. So if you guys are interested in joining that Telegram, remember, it's free. All you have to do is deposit the minimum deposit of $100 or more. That's your money to trade with, and then you'll be in the Telegram. The part of the cycle that I am waiting for is that we find an area where we start ranging consolidation and we get some decent volume for a longer period of time to show that we have bottomed. Yes, me too. I would like to see that too. This range that we've been in for the past couple months, it is now becoming a decent size range, I would say. This is becoming a pretty decent size range. But generally, even if it was going to be accumulation, right? And usually you'll see accumulation at the end of a cycle. You get your initial low, you range for a bit, you get one more low that's always lower than your first low. That's whether it's a Model 1 or a Model 2 accumulation. And then you get, after that tap 2, you continue to range for a bit, continue to range. And in a Model 2 accumulation, you make a higher low, and that gives you that kind of inverse head and shoulders, right? Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. That's that bottoming reversal pattern, but that's called a Model 2 accumulation. Now, a Model 1 accumulation is a little bit more of like selling exhaustion, where you you come down, you make that first low, and you kind of start this grindy trend. Your second low is always lower than your first low, and then you'll usually come up and take those internal highs, and then you come down and you make a third low, and you kind of get that selling exhaustion with that fake out in there. But that's a model 1 Wyckoff accumulation. So I don't see clear accumulation yet. And generally, especially with these assets like Bitcoin, Chainlink was a really good example of that, guys. Chainlink if we zoom out on Chainlink into, let's go to the daily time frame. This right here was such a good example of accumulation, right? You get your first big low right here. You kind of range for a bit, get your second low here, and then you get a higher low, model 2, and then you get the expansion phase. But all of this in here for 2 years was an accumulation range, accumulation by the big guys. And then you get your expansion phase. So that is kind of, I'm watching for some sort of accumulation range to form on Bitcoin. Now, if we look at Bitcoin's past, well, like this is an example of a model 1, right? You kind of can see how you're getting that. This would be reaccumulation because you pumped up, you reaccumulate more, and then you pump up again. So, but you can see how you kind of get those lows, one more big low, and then you get the expansion phase here. Or you can look at, I mean, I guess, yeah, like this is sort of an accumulation. Actually, I would say with this low, this was your accumulation in here. And you can see that is kind of where you get that tap 1, tap 2, tap 3, and then you start your big expansion phase. So we want to see something kind of like this coming in. And if you remember a couple months ago, while everyone was super watching that fractal, I just want to, okay, this is going to be at 73.8. Yeah, guys, really watch 73.8. That's where that local liquidity is, and also the pitchfork midline, as well as that top of the channel is there. But what was I going to look? Oh, the big fractal that everyone was looking at earlier, about a month ago, where they were looking at the last bear market, and they were taking that fractal. You get your first big dump, you get a rise, then you get another big dump, you get that little rise, but something like this, and they were saying, okay, like, this is it. We're going to see a little bit of a range here, and then we're going to dump hard. That's kind of what they were looking at with this, you know, something like that. This range is going a lot longer than this little range did here. But, man, I still think we are going to see a dump to come down to that $58,000 mark, where we do have a naked monthly point of control there as well. Let me check Bybit's anchored VWAP. I know, so Bybit's anchored VWAP is still a little bit above us, guys. Get rid of these. Actually, we're tapping into it right, not quite right now, but what is this line here for? Bybit's anchored VWAP is 73,490-ish. And that is where we rejected the last time. Mind Tapestry, much love and blessings to you as well. Doing great, man. And it's really good to see you in here, as always. Appreciate you so much, Mind Tapestry. Always so positive. And I think you said you do like psychology and stuff. It's really nice to have you in here. If I need long, where I need to wait to enter. Okay, so if we're looking for longs, obviously we're not looking for longs right now. We're seeing local bear divs. We're about to bust into our 786 resistance, right? Just above us, our 786 resistance. If you're looking for longs, there's a couple areas that we could look for longs. Scalp longs. Now, this is scalp, guys. This is scalp trading. But if we do come up here and kind of reject from the 786 in the top of the channel, I would be looking around the midline of the channel for a potential long, and like it would be maybe a little bit lower than the midline, but the back test of the value area high, right? Because our golden pocket is probably going to be there as well. So if we go from the range low, this small 15-minute range that we're attempting to break out of right now, and let's say we come up to the top of the channel here. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess, in that area, 7/8, so between the golden pocket and the 786, right? And that would be where I'd be looking for a potential long again off that. Because if we're in that corrective buying exhaustion, right? You're going to see higher highs and higher lows coming in here. And then you're going to start to see bear divs as you're forming that buying exhaustion. So I would be looking for longing local scalps support levels like the value area high or your golden pocket 786 area. And then, of course, you can look at naked daily points of control as well. So we probably have, okay, no naked dailies. Today's is up pretty high. But if you're looking for longs, you got to be really, really careful because we are near, like we've been pumping for days, right? Since Tuesday, we've really been pumping. So if you're looking for longs, you got to play them as scalps. You got to use proper risk management, play them as scalps. But of course, that $71,000 zone where the value area high is. Okay, breaking through right now, guys. Look at, I knew we were going to bust through it like that because we were consolidating right below it. Consolidating right below it, bust straight through it. Come on, come up a little bit higher. A little bit higher here. Money flow actually on the 5 looks pretty good, but look at all these drives of bear div that we're forming now. All these drives of bear div that we're forming. If this comes up here and invalidates it locally, I wouldn't take it yet. We want to see us, well, and first we want to hit that 786 level. If we do start to drop underneath this again, we could probably look for a scalp short, but I would probably take profit around the VWAP again. How does our order flow look? Let me just get rid of these for now. Yeah, so actually a little decrease on open interest there. Look at that decrease in open interest. Some of those fresh longs, remember how we were seeing all these longs right here towards the top? Well, if we do start to drop, it's going to be used as fuel. So we do have to be careful for an SFP here. All right, I don't like this. I don't like how this is wicking. Let's see if we can take a short. I want to wait for the 5-minute candle close. But if we close this 5-minute candle underneath this high, we can enter a scalp short. So remember, our stop loss is about 0.25%. So that means you could like 4x leverage your entire account. And if you get stopped out, you're only going to lose 1%. We do see bear divs on the 1 minute as well. 5-minute bear divs, dang it. This is probably going to give us a scalp. I'm going to be patient and wait for a 5-minute candle close here. Because it could continue. Grim Reaper, thank you so much for the super chat. Hey, when you have time, can you look, could you maybe take a look at Kite? Yes, absolutely. And thank you so much for the super chat, man. I really do appreciate that. What is your 786 price? It's at 73,650. 73,650, pretty much exactly. The five-day stochastic RSI crossing down will confirm the end of the bullish momentum if price breaks out. Before then, it's bullish if price is not breaking out and the 5-day crosses down. We are exceptionally bearish. Okay, so 5-day stochastic RSI, Bansbell, is that close to topping out? I could always throw it on the chart, and maybe I will after in a minute here. Yeah, awesome. Mind Tapestry, much respect to you, man. Much respect. Yep. Thank you, Grim Reaper Phoenix. I appreciate that a bunch, man. And I will look at Kite in just a second here. Yes, it's getting overbought. Okay, 1 day, 2 day, 3 day are overbought. Are they rolling over on the 1 day or the 2 day yet? I mean, this is our stochastic here. I guess I could. 1 day is not quite rolling over yet, but it's close to. And then, well, okay. Man, this is just, guys, this to me, from this low yesterday, like this is still some pretty nice bullish absorption happening on the charts here. I have a little bit of an issue shorting. Okay, we did close a 5-minute candle below. Yeah, so if you're looking at shorting this, guys, you can use about 4x leverage on this. Let's just say a little bit less than that because you have a 0.32% stop loss. Okay. And remember, the way to calculate that, let me just pull up my calculator. If you're going to, like, whatever your positions, your account portfolio size is. So I'm just going to use the example of $1,000. Say our portfolio is worth $1,000. So you're risking 1% per trade. So 1% of $1,000 is $10. That's what you're risking per trade. That's not what your position size is going to be, but that's what you're risking per trade. Now, we're going to divide it by this number here. But this number's in percentage form, so you have to move the decimal over 2 places. So you go $10 divided by 0.00326. You can put on $3,067 on the trade, and if you get stopped out, you're only going to lose $10. So your position size is going to be $3,067. But you're going to say, wait, Divine, you just told us we only have $1,000 in our account. How am I supposed to use $3,067? Well, that is where leverage comes into play. Now, and by the way, guys, I did just enter that real quick. But now that leverage, you crank up your leverage to 4x, right? Or 5x. Now you're borrowing $4,000 from the exchange and you have $1,000 of your own money. You have a $5,000 account now, but $4,000 of it's the exchanges. Now you can throw that $3,067 on the short. And if you get stopped out, no matter if your leverage is 50x or 5x, you're still only going to lose $10. So I hope that helps, guys. Risk management really is so important in trading, especially scalp trading, guys. Scalp trading, especially scalp trading. Now with this short position that I just got into, I am looking to take some profit at the VWAP. That is a 2.5 to 1 risk to reward ratio. Decent for a scalp. Of course, I'll leave some of it open just in case we get a bigger dump here. But yeah, and I do think that we are going to continue trending. Let's see. And if we don't take out, obviously in here on the 5-minute, right? We're making higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. If we do make a higher low, there is a possibility we do get stopped out here. So we can pull our golden pocket from the last low to the high. And yeah, this is where we're at right now. So if we start bouncing here, this is not going to be so good for us. We want to see us kind of bust through this. I want to take out this low. It would be nice to see a change in market structure on the 5 minutes. So if we can take out 72,944, it would be more probable that we're going to win this trade. Yeah. Let's see. Just small scalping, guys. And the reason why is because we just got the SFP here. And this also looks grindy. And look at, as we were grinding, making all this overlap in here, you see the bear divs coming in on the chart. So it just makes sense that we could roll over and see a bit of a pullback. Now, what would be nice to see here, well, let me get rid of all this. What would be really nice to see here is if we do get a bit of a pullback here, and then we come up again and hit the 786 and we have higher time frame bear divs, like hourly or 15-minute hourly, 2 hourly, that would be really nice to see. Yes, the head and shoulders on the daily. I am watching that as a potential. That's that Model 2 distribution, right? Let me just go here. So on the daily, in a distribution, this is your tap 1 right here, tap 2, and it would be redistribution because we already distributed. So now you're redistributing, and then you would expect to redistribute here. But you would want to redistribute. Your tap 3 is generally around the same high. And it's close enough. Maybe if we come up to that 73.8, like I was saying earlier, or even 74.2 would be, that's 74.2 is a naked weekly point of control. And naked weekly point of controls are very strong. So that's why I keep mentioning that, is that naked weekly there. Man, I'm not so sure this is going to play out, guys. Okay. I'll short when we close a 10-year candle below 73.3. 10-year candle. 10-year candle is the only time frame that's most accurate. Okay. I don't know I think you're joking there, but might be ready for a short here. The 4-hour for USDT is flashing bullish divergence. Is flashing bullish divergence. You probably mean bearish divergence, right? Crypto Clown World. Thomas Van Drugen Broek, welcome in, man. Can you check the 1 hour and the 4 hour? I think we are almost at a local top. Yes, and that's why I keep saying, guys, I do think the 786 could give us a pullback because this might be a local top for like the weekend, right? So the 1 hour, we don't see any bear divs on Market Cipher B, but we do see local bear divs on NAMI. The one thing I'm concerned about is the money flow looks strong. Excuse me, the money flow looks strong. And one drive of bear div, if you have a strong money flow, the money flow usually wins. The 4-hour chart, you do see some local bear divs on the 4-hour on NAMI. Oh, no, you don't. You don't have the 4-hour bear divs. You do have more regional bear divs here, right? Between Tuesday's high and the high today. And then same with NAMI, or same with Market Cipher. 4-hour bear divs between Tuesday and today. But generally you don't reject, like there's nothing really here for this to be the top. Now, if we come up to the 786, that makes sense. That's a major fib target and a major fib retracement. So I would expect this grind to continue until we actually at least hit the 786. Now, the naked weekly point of control, in my opinion, would be even better. And if we see a small pullback now and then come up to that naked weekly at the top of the channel, that's when we could see a dump down to the value area high. Or lower even. Okay, I got to check. Yeah, guys, we are starting to bounce here. Man, I don't like this. I don't like this one bit. Oof. This is probably going to continue up a little bit. You're seeing local support hold in a local uptrend. I want to see a 5-minute candle close. I know I'm on the 6-minute. I want to see a 5-minute candle close below that golden pocket. I'll be a lot more comfortable in this short if that happens. Okay, kite. All right, looks like we've done some TA on this already. You are at a macro golden pocket right here. So that is now an invalidation for the long trade. Remember, or for the impulse. And it's kind of hard to look at your starting, your listing price, your list pump as a wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, 4, 5. But now you can't say that this is a 4 because you've hit the golden pocket from your wave 2 lows to your wave 3 highs. So it's now been invalidated as an impulse. At least this impulse has been invalidated, right? That doesn't mean you can't bounce because you are at a major golden pocket. You are at a macro golden pocket pulled from your last big daily lows up to that high. But if we're looking at the dump down, this is what's concerning me a little bit. 1, 2, 3, you already bounced from that golden pocket, actually. So it's less likely to play out this time. 4, do you get a 5 now down? Do you continue down? It does look like we could continue down here. Let's throw our 786, make sure it's on log scale. Okay, and then we could look at yeah, we have a daily level in this daily order block here. Let's throw that on there. This weekly order block looks pretty good actually as well. Between like what is that? 93.2 and 90 cents, or not 90, 0932 and 090. And what we can do is we can look at our bearish pitchfork. So here's a way to pull a pitchfork. You're going to pull it from that swing high to your first major low up to that higher low here. Now, this is an aggressive trend to the downside. So we're going to want to use a original pitchfork because it's aggressively dropping. So you can see we bounced from the bottom of the pitchfork, which was also your golden pocket. That was a couple days ago, but you just got a move up, and look at this move up, 3-wave corrective move up. So that means that we were most likely going to take out this low. What I would look for this wave 5 to end, because if this is going to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then you want to pull your Fibonacci retracement from the lows of wave 4 to the highs of wave 4, and we're going to put on those wave 5 targets between the 1.236 and the 1.618. Now, I do like that 1.618 because it was in that weekly order block. It was within that weekly order block, so that is kind of nice. And then I want to check our trend-based Fibonacci extinction level. All right. Couple concerning things here for an impulse down. An impulse down, you usually see 1, 2, your third wave usually continues to at least the 1.618. The 1.618 is going to be at, 99 cents or 0.99 cents. Because we did stop exactly at our ABC target zone, you can see it's at the bottom of the pitchfork, but it's also your 1.236 Fibonacci extinction level. There is still a possibility that this was an A, B, C, and now we're in some sort of flat correction here, and before we could continue up. It is a major golden pocket. Remember, we're at the major golden pocket right now. You're at support. So let's check our time frames. You do see some 4-hour bull divs here. Some nice 4-hour bull divs. Money flows curving to the upside. You can see we have the bull divs even locally. Money flows curving to the upside. Let's check our 8-hour time frame, which is what I like to look at money flow on. And did we take out that low yet? Yes, we did. Okay. So you're getting a nice SFP of that low. That's actually pretty nice. And you have very nice 8-hour bull divs here. So we might see a move up here, guys, on Kite. Look at bull divs on the 8-hour. You even have the money flow bull divs on NAMI. Actually, this looks pretty nice for at least a decent move to the upside. What I would be looking at now is, and you are at the macro golden pocket. Remember, you're at the macro golden pocket, 65618. Chopping a little bit through it, but so what I would be looking for in order to really confirm a bit of a long position, well, if you long the SFP, stay in that long, right? If you long the SFP of this low from Friday, last Thursday, Friday, stay in that low or stay in that long. But this is the golden pocket right here, right? And I would like to get back above the golden pocket, because on the higher time frames, you're just wicking to it right now. If you reject here, you would expect probably to come down to that 786. Yeah, I guess this daily is kind of nice because you do have the pitchfork band there. So this 3-wave corrective move. Yeah, okay. I mean, you're at your macro golden pocket. You are likely to form a range down here. Even if it's going to go lower, you're likely to form a range down here. So I would be looking, and you do have some pretty nice bull divs on the 8-hour, the 4-hour. Look at all these bull divs here on the 1-hour, bull divs on the 1-hour. Money flows curving to the upside here. You have money flow bull divs here. I mean, it looks at least decent for a decent move to the upside. What I would be looking for, if you're going to long this here, Kite, you could pull a golden pocket. Let's make it non-log. Yeah, actually, that would be really nice to come up even to this golden pocket here, because you could see something like this and then continue to range sideways for a bit. And then maybe after that, you come up, take out these lower highs in here. And let's look if we have any naked daily points of control within this little range. No, nothing. So no naked dailies above us. Let's check out our naked weeklies real quick. That's this week. So we're not gonna mark it out yet. It's this week. And for me on this, I still wouldn't even, unless you got into the SFP long, I still wouldn't long this until we break market structure. Because locally even, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. This could just be a lower high before continuing down to the daily. So in order for me to get in along here, I would want to break this level at 1325. I would want to break above it. And then maybe on a back test, either of the pitchfork, like say you do that and you hold the midline, then I would definitely expect to move up to golden pocket. So I would long here maybe after seeing a bullish break in market structure locally. Because if you don't get that, your trend is your friend, right? You're going to continue down probably to the daily. Now, if we're continuing to see local bull divs in this move until we get down to the daily and you see bull divs, I might look at long in that daily. Actually, I'll set an alert here. And if you're in the Telegram, I'll let you know what it looks like when we're down there. All right. But it's looking decent for at least a relief bounce, a little bit of a relief bounce here. What's going on with Biddy? Yeah, guys, I don't know if this short is going to play out. It's probably not going to play out. I am actually going to close this out. Pretty much very small loss here, but that bounce from that golden pocket there, I don't think it's going to play out here. Money flow looks pretty strong. Fresh longs coming in. A little bit of fresh longs coming in right now. Now, if we continue to see these fresh longs coming in up to the 786, remember, we're not likely to see a rejection in the middle of nowhere. We're here is the middle of nowhere. It's not to the 786. It's above the golden pocket. There's no naked daily points of control here. There might be, there might be some sort of order block that we're in, but no order block that we're in here. Maybe like a 5-minute, 15-minute order block where you saw a small, super small rejection, but there's nothing in here that is going to keep us from coming up to this 786. And remember, we've been trending with bullish absorption on the charts. So it's actually, we probably shouldn't have even taken that because of the bullish absorption, to be honest. So for me, it's likely that we're going to continue up to the 786 up here. And then at this area between 73,650 and 73,850-ish is where I'm looking. And remember, we have the liquidity that's up there as well, locally, very, very locally. Liquidity resting up there. See, we haven't come and took that liquidity yet. Okay. Awesome, Chi-chan. I'm glad you like the risk management. I think risk management's one of the most important things. I'd wait for ETH to hit the 10-hour before BTC short. 10-hour order block you're probably talking about. I'm waiting for ETH to get up to 2290. Rui, welcome in, man. Rui official. Much love to you. Is this the intro into Pitchfork video? Yeah, it could be the intro into the Pitchfork video, right? Tried to use Divine 50 code on Nami 6 months, but it didn't work. Rui, I'll reach out to False Prophet and ask him about that. I think it was only for lifetime, but I'll ask him if he can do it for the 6 month for you. So remind me on the next live stream that you're on, and I will have an answer for you. Or if you're in the Telegram, you can hit me up in the Telegram as well. When the shitcoin ZEC dump, bro. Okay, well, we can look at ZEC too. No, I use USDT as an inverse chart. Oh, USDT. I'm sorry. I don't know why I was. Yes, USDT I use as an inverse chart too. So here's a couple things, guys. Bitcoin dominance earlier today was pumping. Bitcoin dominance is pumping hard, and we're in a nice range. Let me go to the 4 hour. Let me turn off the volume that looks like crap here. It looks really, really nice here to come up to value area high. And look at this range goes all the way back pretty much to August, or you could even pull it from this low. Yeah, it's still August. So we've been ranging sideways on USDT. We were looking for a reversal here. We were looking for a reversal here. I haven't really looked at USDT dominance in a while, but I'm looking now to come up to value area high. So Bitcoin's probably going to pump against the altcoins. USDT dominance, we have this range as well. Yeah, breaking below the value area low, back testing it and rejecting. So I would expect us to continue a little bit lower here. Let's pull our Fibonacci retracement. You're breaking the golden pocket. So let's see if our 786 has been tapped. I would expect us to at least fall to the 786, at least. Now, more likely, remember, we were looking to come down to this 382 to this 0.5. If we're looking at the bigger time frames here, the daily time frame, we're still looking for that 5-wave impulse. So wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, you're looking for a pullback to at least come down to the 382. And then I think our wave 5, this is going to be the end of the bear market, I think, is when we get that 5th and final wave to the upside of USDT. That means the altcoins are dumping and Bitcoin's dumping. but we have some semi-equal highs up here that we barely front ran. And I think that liquidity grab at that level is going to be, and remember, we were looking to long this as well. Not long it. We were looking for a breakout of it. Now you can actually trade USDT or BTCD on some exchanges, but very nice. So if you want to look, you want to see what accumulation looks like this is such a nice accumulation right here. You come down, your tap one here, you get a move up, you come down for your tap two. It's lower than your tap one. Your tap two will always be lower. You get a move up towards the top of the range. Then you get a move down. It was to the 886 Fibonacci. Remember the 886 in sideways ranges, guys. And this was a very sideways range that we were trading here. 886 taps you, you get that bounce, and then you see now as soon as you break out of the value area high, you back test it. And look at this back test was like a 3-wave move, right? 3-wave move, back testing it, and then you get the expansion starting. Now, the expansion's probably not over. We're probably going to get a small pullback, and then it's going to continue. And that would give us that 5-wave move, that bigger 1, 2, 3, 4. And this could end up dropping to the 0.5 as well. I really do like the 0.5 because we have this range here that would act as support as well. So when you break out of a range, if you start to dump through this imbalance that was created, you're likely to come test the highs of that range. And that's where your 0.5 is. So that's why my big support box here is where if USDT is down here and Bitcoin's at a high, that's when I'm going to look to short Bitcoin because USDT is probably going to do this and Bitcoin's probably going to dump. So, yes, Crypto Clan World, I love looking at USDT for confluence. And I also love looking at the total market cap. I actually do want to set an alert. Let me just do this. Throw that there. We'll do alert line. So, only once. Across. Let's see. But you could bounce from the 382, and we do have a nice little liquidity grab into that 382, even though it's not liquidity per se, right? It's USDT dominance, and you also have a daily down there. So you have a daily, you have your liquidity at that 382. So if USDT dominance is breaking down from this range that we've been in for a couple months, I would expect it to take out the range lows. If we close the daily below it, this is our first daily candle close, breaking the value area low. You can see these 3 candles didn't really close a daily significantly below the value area low. So if we close this one red and bearish like this, then I would expect it to continue at least down to take out the range lows. And seeing an SFP into that 382 in that daily, that could be it. And that's when Bitcoin could be topping at 76, 78. And then you get the reversal on Bitcoin and you get the pump on USDT dominance. So it's very important to watch USDT dominance. Now, Bitcoin is pumping hard. Bitcoin dominance is pumping hard. So Bitcoin is probably going to do well compared to a lot of the altcoins. Yep. Made a new high. Guys, I just... This is starting to look good for a short, though. Look at, we're grinding here in this choppy overlap stuff. If we continue to get bear divs. Now, if we don't continue to, right now, I wouldn't short this. First of all, we're in the middle of nowhere, but money flow looks strong here. You want to see money flow topping out. You can see on NAMI, 1, 2, 3, 4. We could have a 5th drive of bear div on the 5-minute if we're coming up to the 786, though. Now, the next short I will look for is at the 786. I don't care if we reject here. I don't care if we reject here. I don't care if, at the 786 is the next short I'll look for. And we might not even reject there. The way that we're slowly grinding up to it, we could see, a grind up to it, a small pullback, and then you're going to continue. Probably to 74.2, where that naked weekly point of control is. And no, Jojo, I'm not going to front run the 786. Sorry, guys. I didn't mean to blow my nose on stream. Okay. ZEC. Yeah, we can check ZEC. I tried to use. Okay, got that. Okay, 3-day, 4-day stochastic compare to the 98K drop. Okay, let's go to the 3-day. Let's put on stochastic RSI. So yeah, okay, at the 98K, we had already topped and then we formed a local bearish divergence there on the stochastic RSI. Now, here's the thing though. You haven't had your cross yet. You can see on the stochastic down here, you had that orange line crossing the blue line down again. They're still kind of far apart here. Actually, the 3-day looks like we do have some more upside on the stochastic RSI. Now, I would say it's, you know, getting close, maybe another week or 2 weeks, you know, a few more 3-day candles, but it does look like we could get another move up. And what we would want to see actually, if we could get a quick move up, you could see the bear divs coming in on the stochastic. But what's more likely is this is going to continue up a little bit. You're going to get a small pullback, and then you're going to make new highs on Bitcoin, but you're going to get that little bear div there. And then let me check on our daily time frame with this. So yeah, daily time frame is starting to look like it wants to roll over, but with this big bullish candle that we're seeing today, it's probably going to continue up a little bit more if it continues bullish by the daily close. Money flow looks very strong on NAMI on the daily. Money flow on market ciphers into the green now. So I do think we have local continuation to the upside, guys. As far as scalps, scalp shorts that could turn into something much bigger, right? The 786 for me is a scalp level. If we do get the major rejection, great. I'll be in the short, hopefully. But I'm actually looking within this pump. I talked about this at the beginning of the stream here. I do think we have more upside. 1, 2, 1, 2. Here's your 3. Here's your first 4. We're in the first 5 right now. And the 5 is, now we could say the 5 is done or almost done because look at 1, 2, 3. Actually, you can't because there's overlap between these highs and these lows. So we're now going to have to say, let me make sure there's overlap. Yes, there is. So now you can't say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because there's overlap here between this wave 1 high and this wave 4 low. So that now we even have to look at within our wave 5 that's started on Wednesday. That was the end of your wave 4 correction. We are now looking at more likely to be a 1, 2, 1, 2. You're going to get your 3. Then you're going to get some 4, 5s, 4, 5s. That is only going to be your first 5, right? Because you have 2 1, 2s in here. So this would be your first 5. Then you would be expecting a larger pullback for probably about a day or 2 days, you know, pullback in a wave 4. Now that wave 4 pullback is probably going to come to the golden pocket between this low and this high. And then you're going to get another 5. And that would probably take out the range highs, maybe come up to 78K. So I am looking for continuation to the upside. Will I play small pullbacks? Yes. After we start getting our second 5, or after we get our second 4. So let me just do this. Hold on. Let's go to the 4-hour chart. You have your 1, 2. Obviously, this is a secondary 1, 2. So your 3 comes up to here. We get the 4 here. We need a 5. Now, this 5 should have, it's going to be 2 4 5s, right? Because we have 1, 2, 1, 2. Here's your 3. Here's your first 4. This 5 is not even done with. But after that gets done, when we get the pullback in a 4, then this high is the one I'll be looking to giga short on. Wherever it's going to be, whether it's going to be at 76, 78, or 82. Or 74.2. And for now, I will play scalp longs as well. We were looking to scalp long this area at 70.9K. I still am in a scalp on MEXC from there. And I'm also looking to, if we finish this 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, and then on this pullback in your second wave 4, this is your first wave 4 right here. On this second wave 4, I'll actually be looking to long this just to take out this high. Okay, let me check the chat. Where was I? Yeah, especially for a Friday afternoon. You suggested dump after. I don't know if we're going to dump at 73,650. I want to see, as we're coming up there, which we are coming up there now, I want to see us have some bear divs on the chart, and I want to see money flow looking kind of weak. Big deals, well, welcome in, my friend. Good to see you as always. Where's the dip? Yeah, let's see if we get one at around 73,650 to 73,850. And then, man, but you know what? The way that this structure looks locally from the bottom of the range yesterday or Wednesday, 1, 2, 1, 2. Now, I don't like how your primary or your secondary 2, secondary 1 is longer than your first one. Could we see something like, so we had a flat W, X, and then a Y. You could see sort of a WXY correction. Man, yeah, I mean, honestly, whether you look at it from the range lows, and I'm talking about this small 15-minute range that we're in, or from this low, this impulse, this wave 5 still has more upside. And even after that's done, that's when you'll see a bigger pullback in a wave 4. And remember, guys, I don't know if you guys know this, but on like higher degree and lower degree wave 4s and wave 5s, if this is a 4 and we're going to get a 5, oftentimes your higher degree wave 4 will pull back to a lower degree wave 4, and then you'll get a move. So like in the wave 5 that we're in right now, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, and maybe we reject from 74.2, and that finishes our first 5. Then this higher degree wave 4 often retraces to take out the lower degree wave 4 within this impulse. And then you could get a move up for your wave 5, your second wave 5. Yeah, how's your challenge going, man? Did you make it to step 10? We already had a 2% increase on BTC today. It's going higher. Alt's been doing since yesterday. Let's see if this keeps going. And Dash is pumping like crazy. Oh, I forgot to look at ZEC. I do want to look at ZEC real quick. ZEC USD. Okay, ZEC. Oh, wow. So ZEC is broken up finally to the pitchfork band of resistance. And look at, we broke out of this triangle that we were in. And look at the breakout. Very impulsive, very nice breakout. We did get the small pullback at the SFP pullback. I didn't short that, but I got the alert for it. But you only got a small pullback. You bounce. I'm surprised you didn't come down to the 382. You didn't come down to 382, but you bounce. And now we are coming up. Let me just change this to the 1.618. Yep, you're coming up to your 1.618. So very nice here. And look at this is 1, 2, 3. You can expect a pullback 4, and then you'll get a 5 coming up, you know. So maybe we long this pullback here. Three-wave corrective move down. 1. Here's a flat in here. flat right here. And then you have all this here. So this is the start of your wave 3, guys, right here. The start of your internal wave 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4. Now we need a 5 and another 4, 5. So I would be looking for some sort of exhaustion up around, you know, $400 to like $410. But that even is the start of your bigger wave 3, right? Because this is the low. If I can get to it. Here's your 1, 2, your 3 is still in progress. Your 3 is not even done with yet. And you haven't quite hit the 1.618. But your 3, and then you're going to get a 4 and then a 5. That's only your wave 3 of a much bigger impulse, right? Your bigger impulse is from these lows down here. 1. I'm not, okay, 2. Your 3 is going to come all the way up here. Then you're going to get a bigger pullback, 4, 5. Right? So this one is your bigger daily impulse to the upside, the green one. But within your smaller wave 3, you're not even done with it, it looks like. So ZEC has more upside, but what I would be looking to long this wave 4 pullback, and even you could long your sub count wave 4 pullback as well. You are in the pitchfork band. And remember what I say about these pitchfork bands. I'm going to leave this count on the chart and we can look at this in a few weeks and see if it played out. But this here, guys, in these bands, you often form ranges inside these bands, these big bands here. So I would not be surprised if we're holding the bottom of the band. So I expect us to come up to the top of the band. And then if we're going to do something, we could range in here for a bit. And that's where you see that buying exhaustion start to come in. And that's also where you can see your 4, 5s coming in. All these 1, 2s right here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Big pump. Here's going to be your 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5s up here in this kind of channel-y pitchfork band structure. But yeah, I think let's do this. Let's set an alert. Set an alert at like 410. We can keep an eye on that. 158.13. Have a good weekend, man. Much love to you. Okay. Can we check SanDisk? Yes. Let me just look at Bitcoin real quick here. Even if we pull back to the VWAP right now, guys, I'm still expecting this to come up to the 786. It went well until, wait, I want to see what she said. It went well until my shorting target. Wait, until what? Okay, 73.5 and 73.6. I will snipe like a hawk. Okay, cool. I wouldn't be adding to a long right now. RAS 666. You're so close to your 786. If you're gonna add a long from 70K is great, man. You're long from pretty much the range lows, right? But I would be expecting a pullback. So if you do want to add to a long, what you can do is you can pull your volume profile of this range of the past couple of days. And if you come back and back test the value area high, or what would be even better is look at the value area low of this small range is also the bigger value area high, and it's your channel midline. So if we continue to grind up here until we tap the 786, and then we start to get a pullback, you could either look for a long, if you're very bullish, you could look for a long at like 72.5-ish. Or I personally would be looking for a long down around the midline, around 71.2, 71.3. Okay, we were going to look at SanDisk, and then I also will look at Dash real quick as well. Wow, okay, small rejection from 786, then you keep going. We are, oops. breaking out of this channel. Okay, so we were starting to get see some exhaustion within this channel. Dang, this thing is wild. Let's see. So even here, look at all these. This is a perfect example of what a multiple 1-2 impulse looks like. 1, 2, 1, 2. You get your big 3. Here's your first 4, 5, 4. Now this high, yeah, I would be very cautious because we are starting to, at least from this impulse here, starting at November of 2025, we are starting to get a little bit towards your 4 5s. See, you get the channel-y structure at the beginning, you get your big breakout, and then now we're starting to get that channel-y structure towards the top. So I would be careful on this. It is looking a little bit toppy here, and look at these bear divs that you're seeing as we're forming this channel, this buying exhaustion in here, bear divs, and you have significant bear divs on this thing on the daily time frame. So let's look at, yeah, and look at that perfect 1-to-1 target there. We bounced from our 786 in your secondary wave 4. And now we can look for, oop, didn't mean to delete the channel. We can look for our wave 5 target, which is not done yet. Look at, even in this, so if this was your pullback in a wave 4, 3-wave corrective move, now you're looking for a 1, 2, and your 2 came down to the 786, which is a common target for a wave 2, 3, 4, 5. So you would look for a little bit more upside on this thing, but then once you start making that last 4 or 5, it's going to be the end of a major impulse from November. And that's where I would really start looking to flip short on this thing. So we can pull our targets here. From the highs of wave 4 to the lows of wave 4, we're going to put on our wave 5 targets. You're hitting into the 1.61A. Interesting. Okay, so yeah, you had your, look at, so this was your wave 4. Where does your first wave 5 come up to? It rejects exactly from the wave 5 target, being the 1.236. Then you get your secondary wave 4. Now you're looking for a wave 5, and we can actually pull that from this high to this low. And you're probably going to come at least up to 913-ish, at least up to 913. And so now that we're looking at 913 as being a target, we go on to the 1 hour time frame. Oh, come on. Dang, that's quite high. Let's go to, there's your wave 4. So this is your wave 5, your final wave 5 in here. So actually, because this was a complete impulse in itself. So you wouldn't be looking at this, I'm sorry, you wouldn't be looking at this as a 1, 2, 3. This was a wave 5 in itself. This was a pullback in a wave 4. You had your wave 5. This is your secondary wave 4. So within this structure, we're looking for this impulse to finish. I would really be watching that 912 area there, and we could somehow try to do a count in here. 1, you might have a running flat here and a 2, 3. Yeah, and so you might see a pullback here for a bit and a 4 before coming up in a 5. 1, here's your running flat, and a 2, here's your 3, you get a 4, and then you get a 5. But remember the next, so around 9/12, I would start looking for that impulse all the way from November to be ending. And actually what we can look at here is our Fibonacci channel. Oh, it's not going to give us them to the upside. Okay, and then Dash. I was going to look at Dash real quick, guys. Dang, it is taking off, huh? Holy cow. Look at this in here, though. Such nice, like, this is what we want to see, is selling exhaustion. And when I talk about selling exhaustion, look at starting to get that choppy overlap, making a bunch of lower lows. You get the higher lows in the price action, all the bull divs as you're seeing that choppy overlap, and then you start to expand. Tap 1, tap 2, tap 3. Accumulation right here. This is accumulation. This is expansion happening right now. So very, very nice on Dash. Look at, we shorted this, or we were looking for shorts. I don't think I personally took it, but let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Man, there's so for Dash, there's a couple big ranges we could look at. I mean, I like this range in here. Actually, I would even include, because this is a clear downtrend right here, and this is kind of where you start to see relief. So, and you're bouncing from that POC area, you might make a move all the way up on Dash to about $75, $74.94-ish. And then I want to take a volume profile of just this price action here as well. Let's go from this high. Yeah, okay. So you're at a POC. You might get to see a little bit of a pullback, but like maybe a day or two, a small pullback. But I would expect this to continue. This choppiness here. Now, first off, you were forming this descending channel in here, right? Descending channel or wedge, right? You know, a wedge that was in here. You break out of the wedge. What you expect is you expect to sweep all the liquidity that was created here, that liquidity trail. And look at, we swept it fast and aggressively. All right, you do have a daily level here and a daily order block right here at your POC. So that's why we're starting to find some resistance where we're at. Daily order block, POC. If we do get a pullback, now if we get a pullback here, watch these prior highs, because if you do come and test these prior highs and you bounce, you're going to continue up. But would be even better is to look at the value area high of this small range. So if you come down to about 36.10, that could be a very, very nice long position. Let's pull our fib. We'll do this, and we want to put it on log scale. Yeah, okay, man. Actually, I like this a lot. If we do come down to your golden pocket at 34.80-ish, 34.83 to 34.34, your lower range, this little daily accumulation range, POC is there. So this is like the ultimate long position here. I don't think we're going to come down that far right away, though. Yeah, because we have some 1-2s. Here's your 3. Actually, let's go in onto the 4-hour time frame. Oh man, look at all these little 1-2s in here. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. I mean, that this could be a contracting diagonal. 1 2 3 4 5. A contracting diagonal in a wave 1. You get a wave 2. You get a secondary wave 1, secondary wave 2. Here's your big 3, obviously. So we're looking for some now pullbacks, 4 5s, 4 5s here. And that's just going to be the start of it. And then after that, you might see a bigger pullback and then more upside. Eight hours, really nice to look for order blocks. I like this order block right here. And the reason why is because you can see there's an imbalance after it. Look at this imbalance, these two imbalance candles right after that order block. So you might be expecting this bigger pump impulse to end in that general area. We could also look, so that's between 49.75 and 51.25. We could also look at daily levels. There's no dailies in there. Let's look for naked monthly points of controls. Nothing. Naked weekly points of controls. This is a nice little zone as well, because you have this little move up before an aggressive move down. So there is going to be some resistance in this area. And let's go to our weekly. Wow, there really is nothing. Gosh, this can move up pretty quick, guys. Yeah, so I mean, you're at your major POC. You might see a bit of a pullback from here. Let's do this. Let's set an alert here. I wonder if it's going to trigger now. If we come back down to 41.61, we could see if we're seeing local bull divs as we're coming down. Yeah, I knew it. Dang it. All right. We'll do this. So we'll set an alert right around there. And if we come down to 41.61-ish and start to bounce, you might be able to look for a long to ride this trend here. And then we could also pull our golden pocket from the high to the low. You want to make sure you're on log scale. Yep. So look at perfect confluence. Man, super nice. So I actually would extend this box just a little bit higher to hit that the full golden pocket. And then the 786 at your value area high of your macro range. Man, heck yeah. That's another one, $75. I believe there was a weekly up there as well. A little bit higher. So the next zone would be actually this zone here. 786 value area high weekly up there. And then you are probably breaking out of your. No, you're not breaking out of it. But if we look at our bearish pitchfork, and I'm going to look at a skiff because this trend started going really sideways here. So we'll go to the skiff pitchfork. Yeah, I mean, look at this. The top of the pitchfork's going to be right there as well. And look at where our 8-hour order block comes in. By the time we get up to that 8-hour order block, it's going to be in confluence with that pitchfork band. So if we see something like this, a small pullback from our POC, even to the midline, actually, I would look to along the midline, and you come up, hit that 8-hour order block, small pullback from there, and then you come up and you hit this zone here, the top of the pitchfork, your golden pocket, your daily, your naked weekly point of control. I mean, a lot of nice stuff lining up here on Dash. Man, I got to keep an eye on some of this stuff. Dash could be really nice to go after. Let's put that fixed range volume profile back on. Okay, I'm going to leave it just like that. We'll come back to Dash. I think it was Crypto Clan World. You asked me about Dash. I think it was you. Will you remind me to look at it in future live streams? We'll look at it. Okay. Crypto Shot 256. Welcome in, man. 72,480 for scalp long on Bitcoin. It's 618 VWAP value area high. Okay, I like that. If it's a 618 and a VWAP together, what's going on? Was I missing a dump? Yeah, I mean, I'm looking for scalp longs too. Now, we're probably going to sweep all of this right now, guys. If we break market structure, all of this is going to get swept. Because look at, that's a liquidity trail that's been building low time frame bear divs. And now we are breaking low time frame 5-minute market structure bearishly by taking out this low here. So we've broken market structure bearishly locally. It's likely that we are going to sweep this channel down to the VWAP. Let's make sure that's not on log scale. Okay. And actually look at where the end of that kind of channel starts. You get your aggressive move up and then you start the channeling here. So if we're breaking it down, you're likely to sweep to the bottom of the liquidity trail, which is at 71.8 or 72.8, excuse me. And by the time you get down there, your VWAP might be getting close to it. 72.8, maybe then we come up and hit that 786, get some higher time frame bear divs in here. Yes, I know I can't go. I'll go nuts if I do every single asset for sure. Actually, Dash was looking pretty nice though. Are you part of the Vote project? No, I'm not. I'm not even sure what that is, Maximilian. But welcome in, Maximilian. I don't know if I've seen you in here before, so welcome to the community and everything. Baraz Kave, sorry if I butcher that name. Do you have copy trade for people who don't have time for trade? I'm actually working with BYDFI right now. BYDFI is one of my sponsors. I'm working on setting up a Telegram bot with them where copy trading will be available in the future. But right now I'm testing it, and I'm going to do at least a 2-month testing period on it. At least 2 months. So I will stay tuned for that. Let's just say that. XMR is lagging. Would it run after ZEC exhaustion? I don't know if XR, I know there's similar projects, but I don't know if it would run just because ZEC is getting exhausted. Let's say that. It's kind of the same thing as Bitcoin. You can see this as a contracting diagonal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a contracting diagonal in here. This is your bullish scenario, right? Contracting diagonal. You have that move down, higher low, probably around the golden pocket. Let's see. Yeah, golden pocket. Bounce from the golden pocket. So yeah, you could come up, but I would be looking at this as an A, B, C. So you're probably going to come up and sweep out those highs up here at 382. You can look at your trend-based Fibonacci extinction targets. Oops, I'll fix that. 434 to 468 would be, but your minimum target would be the 618, which would be taking out the range highs at 383. So that actually looks nice there. If you get this liquidity grab into that 618, that's your minimum C wave target. If this is going to be an A in a contracting diagonal, a B, and then a C. The other thing I don't really like about this, though, is look at this. Looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4. No, it's not, because you have overlap between these wave 1 lows and the wave 4 highs. So then in that case, you could look at a double zigzag in here, a WXY correction. So yeah, I mean, you might continue up on this for a bit. Oh, it doesn't, this looks ugly though. Ugh, ouch. Yeah, I would want to break out. Bitcoin's already broken above the value area high, back tested it, and that's why we're continuing higher. XMR has not broken out of it, and you're actually finding some resistance here that doesn't look good. And this just looks super choppy and overlappy in here, not really impulsive. I mean, yeah. If anything, this looks more like a 3-wave corrective move here. So then could you see another 3-wave corrective move here, and then a bigger 3-wave corrective move and a flat correction in here somewhere? I guess if you're looking to long this because you're hoping to come up to that 618, I would just be pulling some fibs and looking at some fib targets. Golden pocket. Yeah, golden pocket around the POC looks nice. You also have a daily level right in there as well. So that would be a zone of support for me. And then if you have any naked weeklies, this week's naked weekly, it's not confirmed yet. It's going to be close by. Let's see if there's a naked daily down there. Yeah, there's a naked daily there. So, it's a little bit higher. I don't like how high it is, but it's there. So, yeah, it's a pretty big zone too. I mean, this is kind of your support zone. If you start coming into this zone with some bull divs, you might look for a long, and then I would be looking to take out at least these internal highs, but probably this high too. All right. What do I think of VET for long until the end of 2026? Let me see. Guys, yes, please hit the like buttons if you got any sort of insight into the market from this live stream. I just noticed the time. Guys, give me a second. I have to make a phone call real quick. So I'm going to put it on mute. I have to make a phone call real quick. Give me about 1 minute here. I'll switch it back to BTC real quick so we can stare at the BTC chart. All right. 1 minute here. Okay, guys, I do got to get going here. I can go for about 5 more minutes, but I do got to get going here. So I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to look at all those alts. But for Bitcoin, let's see if we can't get a little bit of a scalp long at this VWAP golden pocket area. Man, it sucks that we shorted this SFP. We get a little drop, and then you get the SFP of that SFP, and that's the one that gives us the scalp trade. But I am now going to be looking for, let's see if we're continuing to build some bullish absorption here. Oop. Yeah, I mean, we are still seeing some nice bullish absorption on the charts, guys. You can see this from this low here, higher lows in the price action. Actually from, excuse me, not from that low, from this low here earlier today. Higher lows in the price action, lower lows in your CVD, and your open interest from that low is increasing here. So you are still seeing bullish absorption. Because we are still seeing bullish absorption, I'm looking to for scalp long opportunities. And this rejection we just had was in the middle of nowhere. So yes, you might see a small pullback from it, but you're looking to long the pullbacks until we actually get up to a resistance, which for me would be the 786 at 73,650 to 73,850. We have liquidity resting up there right above us that has not been taken, 73,650 to 73,850. And I have an alert set here. If I'm not driving when we come down here, I will let you guys know if I'm looking to enter a scalp long on this trade. Actually, I wouldn't enter a new one. I would be adding to my additional one that I have. I had one from around 70.9K a couple days ago, and then I added to it at the VWAP yesterday. I think it was somewhere around there. But yeah, and then once we get up to this zone, 786 to the top of the channel, I would potentially look to flip in a scalp short. Scalp only though. Scalp only. And if we do get that scalp short from the 786, then I would probably be looking to backtest this value area high, or I would even be looking to come down to backtest the major value area high of the 2-month long range in confluence with the value area low of this 15-minute range. I'll try to keep you guys updated in the Telegram as much as possible, okay? So if you're not in the Telegram, guys, join the Telegram. It's free. All you have to do is join BYDFI using my affiliate link in the description and deposit the minimum deposit of $100 or more. That is your money. You're not paying me. You're not paying BYDFI. You're just depositing it on the exchange in hopes that you will try out the exchange, like the exchange, and use it. So join BYDFI using the affiliate link. Once you've deposited the minimum amount or more, you click the Telegram link in the description of this video. And in that Telegram channel, type in /verify in your BYDFI user ID. It's probably going to be a string of letters and numbers for you. And that'll automatically put you into the main Telegram channel, where then you will be in and you guys can get what I'm talking about with Bitcoin, with altcoins, you know, whatever. Mind Tapestry, it was you that asked about Dash. Okay, thank you, Mind Tapestry, for alerting me to Dash. Anyways, guys, have a good weekend. Trade safe out there. Much love to you all. I will be live again Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays next week. And Mondays, Wednesdays, a video around market close. I will always try to update you guys in the Telegram. This weekend is not as near as busy as last weekend was for me with Easter and all that stuff. So have a good weekend, everyone. Much love to you, and I will